Welcome to Wishpath Yoga. My name is Meredith. Let's meet up on our yoga mat. So we're going to begin at the back of our mat, and I'd like you to put your feet a comfortable space apart. Have a little bit of weight in your heels and a little bit of weight in the balls of your feet. We're going to feel the pokey out hip bones at the front of our pelvis and bring our pubic bone to line up with those in space. Let your belly, heart, and brain stand one on top of the other nice and tall. If you want, begin your practice by setting an intention. You can think of through my efforts and my practice, may this beneficial outcome be experienced by myself. You can also think of others. So if you'd like, just take a moment and just feel your presence having landed on your mat. Time for yourself. Good. We're going to begin our movements today by synchronizing our arm movements with our breath. So as you're ready, let your arms come up, meet at the top, and gather back down to your heart. So if you like, you can inhale as your arms rise and exhale as they lower. Do it at your own pace. And really try to synchronize the flow of your breath with the flow of your arms. Good. As you exhale, let your fingers interlace. Press your palms down into a nice stretch for your hands. Release the feeling of holding things from your fingers. Good, and then gently let your arms come tall. You can bend your elbows if you need and lean over to one side. And then we'll go over to the other side. Good, and from center, let your hands flow back down to your sides, and we'll do our standing cat. Knees bend, point them forward, don't let them fall in. Hands on the legs, not on the knees. We're going to move between cow and cat, again at your own pace. I'm going to offer this breathing pattern. As you come forward, take a breath in. As you transition to cat, exhale and then pause for a breath in while you're in your cat. So you're going to exhale as you move and inhale as you arrive in each position. So as you round into cat, you might focus on trying to breathe more into the back of your body and just experience that sort of stretch feeling that comes. We'll go one more time each way. Good, and then using your next cat stretch, roll to standing. Take a nice deep breath in and let your hands gather back into your heart. Good, keeping the same space between your feet. Walk your right foot ahead of you and allow your knee to softly bend. Try to keep the back inner arch lifted in that foot. Okay, as you take a breath in, we're going to separate the arms to the sides and turn to the right, palms facing the floor. Keep your gaze at a spot on the wall beside you, somewhere at eye level. If your neck feels okay, you can turn to look a little into the space behind you. Good. Turn your palms toward the sky. Take a breath in. As you exhale, meet your palms above. And then as you inhale, let your arms lower. So again, move at your own pace. Exhaling to lift, inhaling to lower. Good. And when your arms are back at shoulder height, turn your palms back toward the floor. Bring that back arm forward like a pendulum until your arms are ahead of you at shoulder height. Cross your left elbow over your right into a V, or you can meet your arms or meet your palms. If it feels comfortable, let your elbows lift and lower. You decide the range of motion. Or you can just hold your arms still. Good, we'll let the arms unwind. Inhale to meet above, and we'll move toward warrior three. So bring your weight into your front foot. Ground down through that leg, so don't lock your knee. Press the pads of your fingers together. If you want, float your back toes off the ground. Doesn't matter how high they come. Keep pressing and focusing on the foundation of your pose. Good, we'll return that back foot to the ground, let it fully land, and resting your hands on your front leg. If you want, take the leg a little straighter. And then rebending your knee, take a breath in. As you exhale, roll to standing. Inhale at the top, exhale, hands to your hips. And when you're ready, return to mountain pose at the back of your mat and pause. Good, then we'll try that on the other side. So left foot forward. Keep your feet hip width apart so you don't feel like you're on a tightrope, one foot in front of the other. And with arms coming to shoulder height, we'll let that left arm travel back, turning the heart to the other side this time. Still feeling nice and tall, still pressing down through both feet. And then letting your palms face the sky, take a breath in. As you exhale, let your arms find each other above you. And letting your arms kind of go at your own pace, but again, try to synchronize with your breathing. Exhaling to rise, something a little bit different, and then inhaling to lower. And we'll go one more time. And as the arms lower, we'll turn the palms back toward the floor, let the back arm travel into the space in front. And we'll go right elbow over left. And come into that open arm shape. And you can stay here if meeting the arms or meeting the palms doesn't feel comfortable. And you can keep your elbows low, or you can kind of explore the space in front of you, creating a little vinyasa with the arms, letting them lift and lower with your breathing. Or perhaps keeping your arms in one spot and just exploring trying to get some movement in your ribs as you inhale. So not breathing so much into the belly here. Good, we'll let the arms release, swim them to the sky, breath in. And then bring the hands together, transition to warrior three by bringing your weight into your front foot, pausing, grounding, pressing in with your hands. And you can stay here. If it feels good, hover the back toe a little bit, or bring the leg higher. Keep breathing. And as you're ready, use your exhale to bring that back foot to the ground. Make sure it's all the way flat, and then resting your hands on the middle of your front thigh. See how it feels right here. Maybe you want to take the leg a little straighter. Keep grounding down and resist the temptation to sort of lock that knee fully. It's nice to keep it a little soft. Good, and then we'll rebend, press into your feet to roll to standing. Breath in at the top, hands to hips on the exhale. And we'll step back to Tadasana, reorient the feet. Good, and then we're gonna fold over the legs into Uttanasana, standing forward bend. So option one, with your knees nicely bent, hands to thighs, just letting your heavy head fall forward. Ground down through your legs and breathe. You can come further if you feel comfortable, either elbows to thighs or belly to thighs, hands to the ground. And let your head drop. And because we're still warming up, I recommend keeping your knees a little bit bent or even a lot bent. Use your exhale to release any frustrations, any worries. And then breathing in where you are, press into your feet. Exhale as you come back to standing. Inhaling at the top and bring your hands back to your heart. We're going to walk the same right foot forward again. Same stance we were in just a minute ago. Inhale to lift. Good, exhale, tuck your back toe under. And we'll return to our warrior three. So again, leaning forward, back toe close to the ground or coming taller. And then on your exhale, so again, breathing out while we move, bring that back foot forward, either the ball of the foot to the floor in front of you or knee lifted. Breath in, and then we're going to flow, either foot to the floor behind you or lifted. Breath in, exhale, pull forward. So see how it feels to keep your standing knee a little soft. And grounding and pressing as you move back and forth. So the next time your foot is forward, hold, ball the foot to the floor. or knee into palm, level with your hip. Or if it's comfy, interlace your fingers on your shin and hug your leg in a little closer. And then allowing your standing knee to bend. We're going to cross our legs like we're sitting in a chair. So hips go low. That toe can rest on the ground or hover. Some of you feel okay to wrap, but watch your inner knee. So try to bring your legs as low as you can and hug them in, keep some weight in that heel. If it's comfortable, open your arms again like wings. And on your exhale, cross right elbow over left. Inhale to open. Good. Exhale to cross. Go 2 more times. Breath in and out. Good. And then we'll hold as we come in. So again, same movement we had before. You can keep the arms open, touch them, or meet the palms. Position your elbows in space where it feels nice. And last option here, fold over your legs, finding a spot to gaze at on the floor. Good. Take a breath in, exhale to come back to tall. And we're going to hold the arms and come out of the legs, coming to mountain pose, feet at the top of the mat. Inhale to lift. Exhale, bow over your legs, letting your head drop. Breathe in at the bottom, and with elbows to heart, roll up. And we'll flow like that. So inhale to lift, exhale to bow. Good, let your arms relax open. And we're going to head to the floor, hands down, shoulder width apart. Step your left foot to downward dog. Now if your heels are way away from the ground, no big deal. Just bend your knees a little bit. You can even bend your elbows. Press down through the pads of your fingers, down into your feet. And if your knees are comfortable, you can bend them a little bit more. And on your exhale, push forward to either plank pose or hands and knees, and then return to where you were. So a little forward and backward movement. So again, if the plank pose is too much, as you come forward, you can just rest your knees down and then return. Good. Let your hands walk to your feet, bending your knees as you get closer. And or bring your elbows right to your thighs if that feels better. Use your exhale, come to chair. And then coming back to neutral pelvis, hands into your heart. Good, we'll step the left foot forward now. Feet still hip width apart. And just take a minute and kind of arrange your weight so that your legs feel comfortable space apart. And you can press down equally through both feet. Good, let your hands gather into your heart, tuck your back toe under so you have a little bit of a spring there. And when you're ready, bring your weight into your front foot and hold. As you exhale, bring that back foot, step it forward. Inhale, exhale, step back. Okay, and again, if you want a little more challenge, you can bring that knee and lift it level with your hip. And then come into a version of Warrior 3 with that back foot off the ground. Again, see if it feels more supportive to move on your exhales, pausing for that breath in when you arrive. Good, and don't worry about the wobbles. Our brains love a new challenge. Good, and then we'll set up our eagle legs. So standing knee is going to bend, cross your legs like you're sitting in a chair. Toe can be on the ground here. If you want the challenge of lifting your foot or binding it behind, you can bring some weight into that standing heel and press down with it. Gaze is up off the floor, straight ahead, arms open. We'll breathe in as you exhale, left elbow over right. Good, and move with your breathing. Nice deep breath in. Receive on each inhale, Release on each exhale. Always considering the question, what is it that I do want? How is it that I do want to feel? It's nice to paint that picture as often as we can. Hold here. Inhale to flare your ribs. And if you want the challenge of folding forward, you can play there. Drishti or focal point comes to the ground, legs hug, arms press. Use your exhale to rise. Good, and we'll come out of the legs, feet hip width apart. Good. Inhale to lift. Bending your knees, exhale, bow, heavy head drops. Inhale at the bottom. And then with elbows close to you, roll up, pressing the floor away. Find your pace here. Don't worry if it's the same as mine. One more if you like. Good. Allow your arms to unwind, and we'll bring hands to floor. And we're going to pause here for a minute. So let your head drop, bend your knees, and press into your feet. Relax your neck more. If it feels nice, you can massage the backs of your legs. And then bring your hands to a place in front of you. Step with your other foot back first this time. You want to position your middle fingers parallel, and if you bend your elbows, try to get them bending towards your knees rather than out to the sides. You want to feel your arms in the sockets, front ribs held in. Breath in here as you exhale. Come to your plank pose, arms in the, sort of feel your shoulders connected there. Good, and we'll do a little flow here. So bring your right knee down. Touch your back foot flat, let your left arm lift tall into a variation of side plank or Vashisthasana. If your bottom wrist is sore, you can make a fist there. Use a blanket under the knee if it's finding the floor a little too hard. So we're going to move in a breath in here. Exhale to hands and knees. Take a breath in and then open to side plank on the other side. Okay, so this is level 1, using table or hands and knees. And the knee down version. If you want, you can bring this up a notch for the last 2. So rather than starting from hands and knees, you'll return to your plank, drop the heels, and lift. Exhale to come down. So as you find your pace with these, see if you can move in slow motion. Okay, go one more time each way. Keep your mind anchored to your breathing. Take a break from thinking about things outside the room you're in right now. We're going to bring the knees down a little behind the hips. Relax the toes and hugging your arms into the sides of your body, lower down into cobra. Good. Try to inhale, flare your ribs here. Keep that shape while you're exhaling. Feel a nice squeeze around your lower spine. And then bowing down, take a breath in. Exhale to hands and knees or plank. You can go to downward dog here. If downward dog feels too much, go to child's pose. And then again, walking your hands towards your feet. Coming back to the forward bend at the back of your mat. Knees bent so your tummy is on your thighs. Good, and then use your exhale, climb to chair. Bring your hands into your heart. We're going to turn to the side. So as you cross your arm over, draw your wrist back between your elbows. If your knees are happy, you can lift your heels and lower down. Good. Return your heels to the floor. Come back through center. Breath in. And twisting the opposite side. Keep the knees lined up. Don't let the one knee pull back. If you want to take the heels up, hips down, go for it. Good. And then returning to chair. Let your hands come onto your thighs and do a couple cat-cows like we did at the beginning. You determine the pace and when you choose to inhale, when you choose to exhale. If you prefer, just stay in one of the shapes. Either cat or cow, and hold and breathe. Good. Rolling to standing through your next exhale. Breathe in at the top and bring your hands back into your heart. Last movement forward with the right foot. Good. Take your arms shoulder width apart and bring this arm across your chest using the other arm to hug. So the arms are pressing against each other. You may experience some sensation in that upper left arm. Try to get this arm as straight as you can, and then if you like, make a fist there, curl the back of the wrist. Curl the wrist into you, keeping the forearm pressing out. Good. Relax that effort. Release your arms. Inhale, and then touching right hand to hip, lean gently to your side. Circle down. Breath in, tucking your back toe under. Last transition to warrior three. Good. Draw forward. Bring the toenails to the floor. Neutral pelvis. Hold your balance here. Or if you want, grab your ankle. Same hand to foot. Nice stretch through the thigh. Little challenge holding the inner ankle with the other hand if you like. Try not to push out the front of your body here. Hold that neutral pelvis, front ribs in and down. If you need to use a wall or a chair to hold onto for balance, go for it. Good, and then bending your standing knee, bring this knee forward, prayer hands together. We're gonna go back to warrior three. Touching down, slowly come to tall, inhale, and hands to hip. Use your exhale to step back. Good, and we'll trade sides, so left foot forward, opening your arms like wings. Right arm comes across your chest this time, and that left shoulder gets a chance to stretch out. So again, if you want, make a fist here, curl through the back of the wrist, a little stretch through the forearm. Good, relaxing that effort, release your hands to the sky, and then we'll bring the hand down on that bent knee side, and if you like, lean a little over. Good, circle down. Get ready to move forward into that front foot, perhaps lifting your back foot a little or a lot. Good, and then as you step through, bring the toenails to the ground for a minute, just stretching the front of your ankle, and pausing here, like this with the arms. Or if you want, grab the outside of your ankle. You can hold the inside ankle too. That feels comfortable. Good, and then bending both knees, prayer hands together for balance, a little pressure between the pads of the fingers. Return to warrior three. Good, land, come back to tall. And as you're ready, step back. Good. And then we're doing interlace of the fingers behind the back. What I want you to do is do the way that feels kind of wonky. Make your brain do the opposite pattern. And with hands on the body, come forward. Relax your neck by dropping your head. And then press into your legs. If you want, bring your arms off your back. Heels of the hands can touch or be open. Neck is relaxed, face nice and relaxed. And gravity work on everything in the opposite direction. Still grounding through your legs and feet. Awesome, then bring your hands to the ground and we're going to bring down the knees. and go to Balasana or Child's Pose. So for this one, you can have your feet and knees together and bow forward, either head on your stacked hands if the mat feels too far away, or forehead all the way down. If you find that's too much, you can do it with your knees wide. That feels better through the front of your body or your lower back. And then while you're here, just focus on the feeling of the inhale coming, so the movements coming in and down. Try to relax your belly all the way down to the pelvic floor. So inhale all the way in and down. Feel the pelvic floor relax. Let your head land fully down. Now see if you can get some breathing movements into the back of your body. So inhale, let those back ribs puff up. Good, and then letting your head lift up, we'll bring your weight forward into the forearms, bring the knees back underneath the hips. And you can make your way to sitting, whatever way works for you to get there. Good, and then just have lots of mat out behind you so that it's comfortable. And you can let the bottoms of your feet come together into butterfly, so the heels can line up with the knees or be a little further forward. And we're going to hold on really strongly to the shins with the hands. And let yourself round to your tailbone, hanging off strong arms, chin into your chest. You can be still or rock a little side to side. Good, and then drawing yourself forward, heart lifts, shoulders drop. Good, and then letting yourself either just drop your heavy head forward, or if it's comfortable, coming further down into the pose, holding around your toes. So if you need to, you can sit up on a pillow here if it helps your back. And then if you are coming forward, experiment with reaching your elbows down and lifting and rounding your back up away from your elbows reaching down. Almost like cat stretch in your back, head dropped, elbows reaching down, and a little flared forward. Inhale into where you're feeling any sensations. Good, and then pressing into your feet, exhale to come back to a tall feeling in your spine. Reaching your fingertips toward the ground, drop one ear to one shoulder. Lift your chin a little to open the front of the neck. Good, come back to ear to shoulder. If it feels nice, roll over to the other side, ear to shoulder first. Lift your chin. Good, ear to shoulder. Good, and then gently come out. We're going to get ready for our Shavasana. So while you lie down, start with your knees bent. So just make sure you're going to land on your mat. So we'll come down to the floor. So you can either leave knees together, feet wide like a little teepee if your back tends to be sore, or you can go to straight legs and maybe a pillow or blanket underneath the knees could feel nice. Rest your hands somewhere on your body. If your anxiety is maybe a bit high today, or you can lie your arms open beside you, palms up. Good. So while you're resting in your sitting pose, I want you to focus on the feeling of support. So where is your body in contact with the floor? And just allow your sense of feeling to notice those points of contact. So the back of your body, your heels, feet, legs, hips, mid-back, shoulders, any parts of your arms or your hands, and especially the weight of your head. If you feel like your chin's really jutting up, you can tuck a pillow behind your head. And then just come into awareness of landing into stillness. And relax into the feeling of being held and supported by everything that's underneath your body. Be aware of your skin. and how it defines where you stop and start, and creates for you a sense of inner in relation to outer, self in relation to other. So when we talk about our experiences, the good ones, the not so good ones, the neutral good ones, when we talk about them and define them in these ways, what we're really referring to are our feelings. And our feelings occur on the space on the inside of our skin. And our feelings are like the shadows of the stories floating through our minds in any moment in time. So when we identify with a story, we generate an experience for ourselves. Good, not so good, negative. And if you're like me, it often feels like those stories are swirling really rapidly, kind of like dry autumn leaves caught up in a wind, swirling everywhere. And it's hard to differentiate my sense of self from the story when everything is moving so quickly. So what I try to practice doing is shifting my focus away from the stories for a small amount of time, and instead decide to focus with the same level of concentration on my breath instead. And this kind of has the effect of all the wind dying away and all the leaves dropping to the ground. So for the last few moments that you're resting here, create the story in your mind that you are a resting, breathing person, and that's all you have to be. Notice the sensation of the air in your nostrils and how it feels cool as you inhale and warm as you exhale, like a little wind. So holding on to the story of yourself as a resting, breathing person. Pay attention to, be interested in, be aware of just this rhythmic oscillation between cool and warm, sensation of the air in your nostrils. The longer we can rest our focus here, the feelings that arise are comfortable. Our experience becomes comfortable. So linger here for as long as you like. When you're ready to return, take a moment and dedicate the energy of your practice to a beneficial outcome for yourself, for others, or both. Holding on to this sense of comfortable in your mind, you can let your breathing deepen and refresh you. You can wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers. And then when you're ready, you can rest on your side and make your way back to sitting, just gradually, and when you're ready. I hope you have a really wonderful day. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.